A waitress at a roadside diner called the police after seeing a little girl make a hand signal that left her petrified. What the girl revealed shocked everyone. You won't believe what she did. Miranda was having another typical workday at the diner located by the highway. This place was known as a frequent stop for visitors seeking a quick, tasty meal on their long journeys. With her impeccably clean apron and a welcoming smile, Miranda served her customers with efficiency and kindness. Here you go, sir, your grilled cheese sandwich. The spot, with its rustic and cozy decor, was bustling as usual. Vacationing families, long-haul truckers, and couples looking for a quick rest, all found a comfortable refuge here. The smell of fresh coffee mixed with the aroma of homemade pies and grilled sandwiches created a very inviting atmosphere. Miranda moved between the tables, taking orders, serving dishes, and ensuring all her customers were satisfied. She knew the routine well: strong coffee requests from those needing to stay awake on the road, juices for the playful kids in their seats, and the special of the day for the undecided. I think you'll love our chicken empanada with cream cheese and our orange juice, she suggested while working. As she observed the people, she imagined the stories behind each face. She had worked there so long that some were familiar faces, regular travelers who always made a point to stop there, while others were strangers, people she would likely never see again. She enjoyed this dynamic, this constant mix of stories and paths that intersected at this small spot on the road. As the day progressed, the diner began to quiet down. That was when a car parked outside, and from it emerged a couple and a little girl. Miranda watched them as they approached the entrance. They seemed like an ordinary family on a trip, but there was something about the way the girl moved that caught her attention. There was a hesitation, a subtle discomfort in her movements that did not go unnoticed by the experienced waitress. The couple and child entered the establishment looking for a table to sit at. The lady prepared to serve them. "Hello, welcome, you can sit here, we have a child's seat," she said. However, something inside her felt that this family was different, that something was off. The woman approached them with a smile, ready to offer the menu and take their order. However, she could never have imagined the turnaround that this simple service would bring. Miranda turned her thoughts back to her work and smiled at the family now sitting at the table. She grabbed her notepad to take their orders and, with her usual kindness, asked, "What will you have today?" "We have some delicious new items on the menu." The man, with a rigid posture and gruff voice, replied sharply, "Let's be quick. I want a burger with fries, and you?" he said, looking at his wife and daughter in an intimidating way. The wife, a woman with a tired appearance and a sad look, picked up the menu and began to read. In less than seconds, the husband was already irritated by her apparent delay and cursed, "Choose quickly, damn it. We need to get back on the road. We're just eating and then hitting the road." Quickly, the woman chose anything on the menu, a light sandwich with juice for her and her daughter. The little girl, quiet and visibly subdued, just nodded in agreement. The tension at the table was completely visible, and Miranda felt an increasing discomfort as she watched the interaction between them. "I'll bring your order soon," she said, trying to keep her voice calm as she walked away. The girl couldn't help but look back, concerned about what she had just witnessed. Back at the counter, she commented to the diner's owner, a middle-aged man named George, who always had good advice to give. "George, did you see that family that just arrived? There's something very wrong there. The man is very arrogant, and the two seem scared." The old man, cleaning a glass, looked over his shoulder toward the table and replied, "Sometimes people have their bad days. But keep an eye on them, you never know." Miranda nodded, but the feeling that something wasn't right continued to bother her. She prepared the man's burger with efficiency, although her mind was far from it, reflecting on what was happening at that table and why the mother and daughter seemed so unhappy. Carrying the tray with the father's order, she returned to the table, handing him the burger and fries. "Here's your order, sir. Your wife's and daughter's lunches will be here shortly," she said, trying to hide her concern. The man just grunted in response, without even looking at Miranda, and started devouring the food. The waitress walked away, but her eyes continued to watch the family, especially the little girl who seemed to want to say something but couldn't. The waitress returned to the counter to wait for the rest of the orders, feeling a growing urgency to understand what was happening with those three. After some time, still waiting for the lunches, a subtle tension continued to emerge. The little girl, with restless eyes and a trembling voice, being hugged by her mother, couldn't hold it any longer and pleaded, "Mommy, I need to pee." The woman, with her weary demeanor and eyes downcast, looked hesitantly at her husband as if fearing to speak. "Love, can I take her to the bathroom?" "No, you'll stay here," he shouted subtly, hoping no one would hear. "But dear, she's really squeezed, we need to go now," she said, her voice wavering between firmness and apprehension. The man, whose posture was indifferent and whose mouth was dirty from food, cast an irritated look at the two. "Don't want you two alone." The woman gathered a bit of courage, empathizing with her daughter's situation. Ronald, do you want to stop on the road for her to relieve herself? All right, go, but be quick. I don't want any delays, he grumbled, his voice laden with disdain. While the mother led the girl to the bathroom, Miranda watched the scene with growing discomfort. She shared her concerns with the owner. Something's wrong with that family. The way he treats his wife and daughter is really disturbing. The old man sighed and lamented, unfortunately, we can't do anything. Some people don't know how to treat the most precious things in their life. It's sad to see a father, a husband with that kind of temper. It pushes people away. Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. They don't seem well. It's like they're scared, I don't know, said Miranda. Well, we can only hope they have a good trip, dear. Nothing more than that because it's not our place to intervene, George advised. Oh, and her lunch is almost ready. In the women's bathroom, mother and daughter found a small group of women already waiting. The girl, visibly uncomfortable, danced from one foot to the other while anxiously repeating, "Mommy, I really need to go." "Calm down, my love. It'll be our turn soon, okay?" said the mother. However, the little girl, as if worried about the number of people there, revealed, "But Daddy will get mad. I don't want him to get mad again." The woman furrowed her brow in discomfort and agreed, "Yes, I don't want him to get nervous either. But don't worry, okay? No, Mommy, let's go. I'll hold it. It's going to take too long," she sighed and pleaded. The mother calmed her down and said that only 2 people were left, although she was also worried. Back at the table, Miranda, balancing the plates with the mother's and daughter's lunches, placed them there. "Here are your lunches, sir," but was met by the impatient gaze of the man. "Where are those 2 bitches?" he growled, looking around with an increasingly irritated expression. The shocked waitress responded with reinforced calm, "They're in the bathroom. It seems a bit crowded there now." He, impatiently, rose abruptly from his chair, apparently determined to go fetch the 2. "I can't believe I'm going to have to go there." Miranda, quickly intervening, said, "Sir, you can't enter the women's bathroom. But don't worry, I'll go see if everything's okay with him and bring him back." With quick steps, the lady headed to the women's bathroom, concerned about the well-being of the woman and the child, while the man, clearly irritated, remained seated at the table, chewing his lunch with an angry expression in his eyes. In the bustling atmosphere of the women's bathroom at the diner, the waitress found the 2 coming out of one of the stalls. The mother, with the girl holding her hand, seemed hurried and slightly shaken. Miranda, attentive and concerned, approached discreetly and asked, "Hey, is everything okay with you guys? Your husband seems a bit tense." The woman, avoiding direct eye contact with the lady, evaded the question with a trembling voice. "Oh, it's just the stress of the long trip, you know how it is. Kids get impatient, and sometimes he gets irritated." The little girl, with her eyes downcast and a subdued expression, just nodded. "Well, if you need anything, please talk to me, okay?" said the young woman as they returned to the table. The man received them with unmatched irritation, murmuring reproaches and complaints. "Why did you take so long? Can't you even pee properly?" he questioned with his tone of voice loaded with impatience. "The line was big, dear," replied the woman, trying to maintain her calm in the face of his hostility and lowering her head. Hearing this, the husband cast an intimidating look at her and the daughter, saying with a sarcastic smile, "Oh yes, wait until we get to the car. I'll show you what's really full. Now eat that damn lunch, and fast," said the wife. It was at this moment that the little girl, almost out of breath, noticing Miranda nearby as she was passing by, made a subtle but significant gesture, a signal under the table, away from her father's eyes. She opened her little hand and revealed a large X drawn with red lipstick on her palm. Her large, pleading eyes met those of the waitress, conveying a silent but urgent request for help. Miranda, seeing the signal, felt a chill run down her spine. She knew that signal. It was a distress signal often used when women suffered some type of violence. The waitress could barely disguise her concern. A little girl, only 4 or 5 years old, with a red X on her hands, she thought that was something disturbing. What kind of things had this small soul suffered? The young woman continued her work, feigning normalcy, but her heart was racing. She knew she needed to act quickly to help the girl before it was too late. Miranda ran with a sense of urgency. After seeing the girl's distress signal, she discreetly approached George, the old man who owned the restaurant, and whispered, "George, for God's sake, call the police now. That little girl has a red X on her hand. She's asking for help." "What?" The man, aware of the seriousness of what was happening, immediately went to the back while the old man rushed to the office to make the call. The waitress kept her eyes on the family, watching every move of the man, impatient, and the expressions of fear on the mother and daughter's faces. She could feel the tension in the air increasing every minute that passed. "My God, poor things," she reflected, anguished, feeling a pain in her heart in anticipation. Even though it was a diner by the roadside, they were close to a police station, about 300 meters away, so they had an advantage. In a short time, the officers arrived in their patrol cars at the establishment. Entering, one of the agents asked, "Who here called the police?" The man at the table, seeing the police, tried to maintain his calm. He spoke to his wife and daughter in a brusque, low voice. "Quick, finish eating this crap. Now we need to go. Come on." However, it was then that Miranda, accompanied by the owner, approached their table with the police. "I was the one who called. Please come here," she said. The man, realizing he was the target of attention, became visibly irritated and challenged, "Is there a problem here? We're eating in peace, can't you see?" The waitress, with compassion, looked at the girl and asked softly, "You asked me for help, didn't you, princess? Is everything okay? You can tell us what's going on." The little girl, intimidated by her father's presence, who spoke threateningly, "Tell her everything's fine, isn't it?" hesitated at first, but when she looked at her mother, who was already with her eyes shining, trembling with fear, she, encouraged by the moment and the kind look from Miranda, revealed amid tears, "He's going to hit my mommy when we get to the car." The mother of the girl, who had until then remained silent, couldn't hold back and began to cry desperately, confirming her daughter's words, "It's true." The police wasted no time and immobilized the man who tried to react and stand up, shouting, "This is a lie, they're making this up." The waitress then gently took the little girl's hand and showed it to the officers, explaining to the police about the distress signal, an X made with red lipstick. The men were shocked. "I did this in the bathroom with mommy's lipstick. I saw on TV that it's for when daddy hits us," revealed the little girl with a face all wet. At that moment, everyone was petrified. The sadness and clear expression of suffering from that little one and her mother touched their hearts. Even the police were moved, as they had wives and daughters and were outraged. "So you like to mistreat women, huh, tough guy? Let's see if you like what awaits you. Come on, get up. You're under arrest, and you have the right to remain quiet." The man entered into despair, claiming that the two were liars and that they were conspiring against him. The police, based on the statements from the girl and the mother, arrested the man, taking him to the patrol car, creating a scandal. The waitress and the owner of the shop, realizing the trauma of the mother and daughter, took them to a safe place in the back of the diner, offering comfort and ensuring they would be safe until the situation was completely resolved. "You can stay here, okay? I'll bring you some juice," said the lady. Mother and daughter were now there, unable to believe what had occurred. "My God, daughter, how are you so brave? Mommy is very proud of you," said the mother. The little girl, still traumatized and with tears threatening to fall, said with a deep sense of fear, "I didn't want him to hit us again, Mommy. It hurts a lot." The woman hugged her little girl, grateful and relieved. After a few hours of tension in the diner, the police returned with news about the situation of the detained husband. They informed the woman and her daughter that he would be imprisoned and that an investigation would be initiated to proceed with the judicial process. One of the officers, with a firm and reassuring voice, said to the woman, "Don't worry, you'll be fine now, ma'am. We're here to ensure your safety and that of your daughter." With that assurance, mother and daughter hugged each other, relieved to finally be free from the torment and violence they had suffered at the hands of that odious man. The little girl, with a shy smile, held her mother's hand tightly, both feeling a new beginning unfolding before them, thanks to the courage and intelligence of the little one in using the signal with the lipstick. They had managed to escape a terrible situation. The two returned home, beginning to rebuild their lives away from the violent father and husband who had tormented them. The mother, now more determined than ever, promised to create a safe and loving environment for her little one, away from the abuses of the past. The waitress felt a mix of relief and pride for having played a crucial role in the salvation of those two poor souls. She and the old man, the owner of the diner, discussed the importance of being attentive to signs when something was not right, especially in public places. The story of the girl who used a red X on her hand to ask for help spread through the local community, even making it to TV, serving as a reminder of the existence of discreet ways to seek help in dangerous situations. Now she was a little girl free from her greatest burden. People began to share information, reinforcing that if you know someone or are a victim of any type of violence, know that making a red X on the palm of your hand can save your life or that of another person. No one needs to suffer in silence. It's necessary to be brave and fight for justice and safety. What do you think of this story? Do you think they acted right? Leave your comment below to know your opinion. It is very important to us. If you like this exciting story, help us by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Thank you very much for watching us and see you in the next story.